Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Darren. I hope you're all safe and well and having a good stitchy week. So as you can see, today we're doing a stitch with me on my supersized Tiger family. I'm going to see how much of this we can get completed. You see, I haven't got much left to finish this page, so we'll see how we go. So let's get you zoomed in. And again, apologies if my hand will be in the way, and apologies again if you can hear the lawnmower. They were still mowing his lawn. But I think he's finished with the main part. So he'll be over the far side of the yard now. I'm hoping. So today's the day, it's Saturday, Shane's getting his tattoo done, and his sister's already messaged. Basically, Shane bought some numbing cream to have his tattoo done, because as I mentioned before, Shane does not like needles, and he's a wimp when it comes to pain. So he got some numbing cream, and followed the instructions, put it on, and his sister messaged me saying he's in so much pain the numbing cream didn't work, even though he had the numbing cream on for over an hour, like it said to. And so the numbing cream didn't work, he's in so much pain, and he's only done the outline so far. And obviously if any of you have got tattoos, you'll know that the outline part is the part that does, if anything's going to hurts the most. So the bloke's on with the shading now, so we'll see how he goes. So fair dues for Shane, if it's hurting him, he's still persevering with it to get it finished. So I'm expecting a text message at any point with a updated picture of it. So if I get that, I will add that in to the video so you can see what he got. No, I'm gonna say I've had one picture sent through of the outline, and so far it's not one of the best tattoos I've ever seen, but it might look a bit different once he's got the shading in. I'm hoping it looks a lot different when he's got the shading in. So we'll see how he goes. So his sister was also meant to be getting a tattoo today, but she's no longer having a tattoo. So basically, as I mentioned last week, they were going to ask me to look after the little one again. And she said she was going to ask her elder daughter instead to look after her. So her elder daughter said yes. And then on Tuesday, Wednesday, one of them, I can't remember what day it was now, she turned around and said that she can't have her now because she's got other plans. So Shane's sister decided to cancel having hers done instead of asking me if I would have the little one, because I did say I wouldn't have her this time unless it was an emergency. So instead of asking me, she told her husband to phone up and cancel the appointment. So he cancelled her appointment and booked himself in for one. Instead of offering to look after the little one himself, seeing as it's his kid, so she could have the tattoo done, he decided he was going to book in and have her spot instead. So needless to say, she was not best pleased. So, but she did say she doesn't mind not having it anyway, because she does need to buy some stuff for work, some more clothes for work, and some other bits and bobs. So she says she doesn't mind not having that tattoo. It would have been nice for him to offer to have his own daughter so that she could have the tattoo done. She said she'd have probably turned around and said it didn't matter, he could have his tattoo done. But she said the fact that he didn't ask, she wasn't in a very good mood. I said to her, I said, well, if you change your mind, I said, and you want to have your tattoo done, I said, I will look after the little one. I said, I don't mind. She said, no, you've had her the last couple of weekends. I said, yeah, I know. I said, but you've had this tattoo booked in now for weeks. I said, so she's been on about it for weeks. I said, so I don't mind having it if it means you can get your tattoo. So she said no, it didn't matter. So I was like, okay then. So yes, so Shane's having the tattoo at the moment. So work's going okay. I think I mentioned last time that we're getting new saws. Apparently my saw is going to be one of the first ones to be replaced, which is awesome. I don't know when it's going to happen, but apparently mine's going to be one of the first ones to be replaced. And the boss ordered some new sawdust extractors for the other saw. As I mentioned, they kept making mine. So they turned up the other day, so I had to build them up. So that saw's already for going. Well, by the sounds of it, they're getting a new saw as well for that. So we're getting a fair few saws. And we have an old table there. There used to be part of the saws. I don't know how they used it, but they used to use it for part of the saws or something like that. We just use it as a table because we have no break area or tables. So we've been using this table since I've been there. Anyway, he kept saying he wants it gone. I was like, nah, it's not going anywhere. He says, yeah, I want it gone. I said, nah, it's my table. He said, we'll get another table. I said, no. I said, this one, fine. He says, there's another table in the cupboard, in the shed there. I went, where? Anyway, it turns out it's not in the shed, it's in the office. It's just one of those fold up wallpaper tables or picnic tables or something like that. So he keeps threatening to run over the table that I've got with a fork and squash it. I says, feel free. I says, but it's pretty sturdy. I says, I don't think you'll break it. He said, oh, I will. So he's still trying to get me to get rid of it. So it will be moving anyway at some point, because apparently they're moving one of the other saws in between my saw and somebody else's saw. I don't know how they're going to work that out for getting the packs of wood in, because there's a great big steel frame there for the shed. So I don't know how they're going to work that out, but apparently that's how the boss's son wants it put in. And then the saw for splitting is going on where the other saw's coming from. So we'll see what happens there. So it's going to be interesting. That's all apparently meant to be getting moved around in about 2 weeks' time. So they're going to have to get some more plug sockets put in, because there's not enough plug sockets for that saw, I don't think. We'll see how it goes. I've been having quite a good laugh with the boss this week. It's been quite funny. When we was only about the table he wanted gone, I said, no, that's my table for my brakes. I said, you don't need brakes. He says, just work straight through. I was like, no. He says, I work straight through. He says, I don't have brakes. You're always eating in the truck. And then you have your brakes when you're sat at the other yard waiting to unload. I said, well, that's fine. I said, I don't have brakes, but I'll finish an hour early. He says, what do you mean finish an hour early? I said, well, I'm not having brakes and I don't need to be here as long, do I? And it's like, well, I don't have brakes in the time I'm here. I says, yeah. I says, you don't start till after an hour after we've started. I says, and you generally finish before us. I says, I'll finish an hour early. And his wife was there, she was laughing. She went, I'd give up if I were you. She says, you're losing a battle here with this one. So he just started laughing and walked off. So yeah, so I've been having a bit of a laugh at work this week, which has been a change. I had to go and help doing the sorting on Wednesday, because one of the blokes has to go for physio, the one who tore his stomach muscles. Now normally when I'm over there, nobody actually uses my saw, but the packs that I'm doing, apparently they need them. So that they dragged one of the other lads off of his saw, because there was two on his, to go on mine. Nobody likes working on my saw, as I've mentioned. They all avoid it like the plague. So he ended up being on there. And he was like, he come over to see me, he says, is it all set up? Yeah. Right, what do I need to do? Told him. Right. And then, about half an hour later, I need you to come over and sort this out. I can't figure it out. And he was trying to change the length that we cut. But instead of stopping the saw to change the length, he was trying to change the length while it was still running. So no, you need to turn it off. Bear in mind, he used to work on that saw before I started. And then the guy who's supposedly the foreman over there, he didn't know how to do the saw either. And it's like, obviously you all need some more training on this saw. I'll see about getting you put on it a bit longer. Everyone on it. I was like, no, it's all right, it's all right. I said, yeah, and I bet you any minute, I said, as soon as my new saw turns up, I said, you'll all want to come in on that one. Let me just move you a little bit there, apologies. So yeah, so a bit of fun there. So I can't wait to see when I get my new saw, or for them to tell me when I'm getting my new saw. Should be fun. So I've got the window open today. So apologies if you can hear any traffic or whatever going past. I live near one of the busier roads that come through here. So it's only like a back road, if you like. There's a lot of people use it. But the birds attacking the wing mirrors on the car. I can hear it tapping away. So, from last week, when I mentioned with regards to my mum, so far nothing else has been said about putting her in respite. I found her up on Sunday asking if she was doing okay and if she was eating more. So she started eating more stuff. So that's good. My brother's not said anything else about it. So far, I think my little chat with her has kind of worked. And we shouldn't be interrupted by my chat group today. I've already muted them, even though they started bombarding it earlier on, saying, oh, Darren must be ready to film his videos now. So they just started bombarding with all these things. But little did they know I was actually outside pegging the washing out. So that backfired on them. And then I muted it just before I started the video. So I've muted it for an hour. So if it starts pinging after that, we know that my video is an hour long. Now if you've watched my update video, you'll see I got the Stitching Jewels design, which is the tiger's head, the monochrome piece. I was just having a look at that earlier on, just to see how many stitches it is. You know, it's only 13,000 stitches. It's like, that's going to be a really quick stitch. So I'm now contemplating starting that next week. Maybe starting it. But obviously, I mean, I know a lot of people do them in black. But I was thinking of maybe doing it a different colour. But obviously it's got to be a colour that's going to stand out on white. So, but I was thinking of doing it a different colour. Maybe a bright orange or something. I haven't decided yet. So if you've seen the piece that I'm talking about, what colour would you recommend for doing it as a monochrome piece? So I'm going to say it's been charted by Jules. It was all in black, but obviously with it being monochrome, you can just change it to whatever colour you want to. I'm not 100% sure if I've actually got any other coloured fabrics I could stitch it on. I've got a couple, but they're linens, so I don't really want to do it on linen. So I think it's going to have to be on some easy guide, so it'd be the white. So what colour would you suggest for the tiger? I'm thinking maybe a bright orange or something like that. So yeah, but I don't think it should take too long. But that's the famous last words. It'll definitely be one of the quickest pieces I've stitched. I'm just checking where I need to go to from this bit. Oh, that's okay. Oops, wrong hole. So a lot of this is a lot of the same colour stitching, so I'm hoping it's going to go pretty quick to get this page finished. I'm hoping. I'm definitely pushing to try and get it finished today. I know when Shane's finished at the tattoo shop, they're going shopping while they wait for his sister's husband to get his tattoo done. So that's going to be a couple of hours for that. So I know I've got a fair few hours on there, but then they're meant to be coming back here. So how long they'll stop for, I don't know. Hopefully not too long, especially seeing as they'll have the niece with them. And she'll be hungry. I don't think they'll stop that long. That's famous last words. Plus the fact Shane was on and about, if he wasn't too sore, he wants to cut the grass and then put the weed and feed stuff on it, because we're due to have a lot of rain this week. So down south in New South Wales, Sydney area, they've been having a lot of rain. Last week, there's a lot of flooding going off down there, and they've already said our rain season will be starting earlier. Normally it starts in December, January time, and they reckon it's going to start in November with a lot more cyclones and stuff like that than we normally have. So yeah, so it's going to be interesting. So they've already started telling everyone to be prepared for the flood season, and if needs be for like getting your emergency stuff sorted out to move out and everything if you need evacuating. We should be all right here because, as I say, we're pretty high up, so we're at the top of a hill, so we should be fine. So yeah, but they're also talking about releasing the water from the dams, because normally the beginning of the year when we had the last floods, the dams were getting to like 150% full or something like that before they started releasing the water. So a lot of places got flooded because they had to release so much water. No, last year, tell a lie, that was the year before. Last year they started emptying it when it got to like 90%. So it's already at 90% at the moment, because we've had a bit more rain than normal. So they've told everyone to use the water. So over here, you pay your obviously your water rates and whatever, but they've told everybody that they're going to give them 2 weeks free water to do whatever they need to do. So they're going to credit the bills. So they've got 2 weeks of using as much water as they possibly can. So they're telling people to get they call them gurneys over here in the UK, we call them pressure washers, out and do the houses, do the driveways, get the cars washed, do whatever they want to do and get as much water used up as they can, so then they don't have to release as much from the dams. So that was all over the news, so everyone will be doing that. Obviously can't do that here because we're on tank water, so we're not connected to the mains. So yeah, they're trying the hardest now to prevent any form of floodings happening. Now we have got a lot of rain coming through this week apparently, starting as from, I think it's Tuesday, maybe Wednesday. We've got a lot of rain coming. Hopefully it doesn't affect down south anymore, because I say bless them, they've been flooded out. They've had loads and loads of rain. So we'll see how we go. Who knows, might get a couple of days extra off work. Woohoo! I don't think the one that's coming through is as severe as what we have had. Normally that's about January, February time when we get the big ones. So, but we don't know. We'll soon find out. So again, if you are taking part in the Help Me Decide videos, the last part of that goes up this week. And this is the biggest one to make a choice from. This is all my Heaven and Earth projects. So you've got a hard decision to make on this one. I think the last one was pretty tricky because that was all my what I class as my other projects. But there was a fair few of them, and I only needed one. So they're going well. I'll say once this last one's done, I'll leave it like another week, just for everybody to get the final votes in. And then we'll tally it up, and then I'll do a video showing all the projects that I'm going to be taking through to 2023. So I was having a look at how many projects I haven't worked on since my mid-year whip parade. So I've got, I think it's 4 more projects, and then that means every project I own I've worked on at least twice this year. So I don't think that's too bad going to say I've got over 50 projects. So yeah, so I've not done too bad there. To get all of them worked on at least twice. Some of them obviously didn't get much work on them at some point, but some of them got a fair bit. It's going to be interesting when I do my end of year whip parade to see how far I've got with them all. Some of them may not look like I've done much, but some of them hopefully should have a fair decent amount of progress. I'm hoping. It's going to be fun filming my whip parade at the end of the year, because obviously I'm not going to be here. So what I think I'm going to have to try and do is film what I can before I go over to the UK of all the projects I'm not going to be taking with me, and then whatever projects I do take with me, then just add them on at the end while I'm over there. But that depends if I've got the time to do it. If not, I'll have to do it when I come back. But that doesn't give me much time, I don't think, in order to do that. But no doubt, as soon as I come back, Shane will be wanting to disappear somewhere for I'm going to see his mate or something like that, since he'll be stuck at home for 3 weeks. Looking after the youngest niece. I had fun yesterday. I had the cats at the vets getting the claws cut. As I mentioned before, Kitty kept getting stuck to the cover, so I took him to get the claws cut. Now before, I used to hold the cats and they used to cut the claws, but just recently they've started taking the cats out the back and cutting the claws. So obviously there's a couple of vets and nurses or whatever you call them there. So they've done all that at the back, and I mentioned to them that they didn't cut them very short after the last time, so because obviously Kitty been getting stuck. Anyway, Kitty was the last one to go, and they said that her claws were really, really long. I said, yes, I don't think they cut them as big, as short as they normally do. Because I say, no man, they're holding them, so I can see how short they're cutting them. Well, they said her claws were really long, so they've all been clipped now. And then I found out that they're actually, I normally take them on a Friday after work, because Friday's the day that we finish early. And I found out that they're open on Saturdays. I said, I didn't know you was open on Saturdays. She went, yeah. They're only open for a couple of hours. I said, oh, that's going to make it easier for me. I said, I'm to rush back from work to get the cats to the vet. She says, yeah, just booking for a Saturday. She says, as long as your cat doesn't need like 3 people to hold them down, then that's fine. I says, I don't mind holding them if you need them to help. Oh, she went, oh, if you don't mind. She says, we'll do that next time. So I'm going to say the one who used to do it, I don't think she works there anymore. She must work at their other site. They've got another site further down the road. Well, further down the road in the next town down. So yeah, so in future now I can take them on a Saturday morning, which is better for me. I think Ginger must be getting used to being in the cat carrier as well, a little bit, because normally anyone would think he was getting murdered when he's going to the vets. So on the way to the vets this time, he screamed his head off all the way there. I had him in the car with Tiger. I take two at one go and then come back for the third one, so depends which ones I grab first. So he was in the car with Tiger, and after he'd had his claws cut, put him in the car. Normally he screams all the way back as well. Bear in mind it's only like a 5-minute drive, but this time he was quiet as anything on the way back. It was great. Tiger, you don't hear a noise from him anyway. He's pretty good. Every now and then he might meow. Kitty, you won't even know you had her in the car. She's so quiet. Now the 2 boys are quite heavy. They're not fat. They're just heavy. And they took Ginger first. And the woman who grabbed him said, "Bye, he's heavy." Wait till you pick the next one up. Tiger weighs a lot more than Ginger. So when she come out and pick Tiger up, she says, "Oh my goodness, he's a big one." And, yep. And then Kitty is light as anything compared to those two. I would have had a message now by now to say that his tattoo was finished, but obviously not. He's probably having a break. It was a gorgeous day today. I'll say we're getting up to 28 degrees, so winter is finally out the window, which isn't bad, 28 degrees for spring. So I did my washing this morning, and that was all dried within like an hour, which is great. I love it this time of year when it dries so fast. So but the window's open, the fan's on. And all the cats are asleep. I had a busy day this morning. I'm gonna say, I've done the washing, I've done the housework. I filmed my update video. Now I'm doing my Stitch with me. And it's only just gone 11:30, so I'm not doing too bad. I haven't got any questions because I still haven't been through the comments. I might do that tomorrow, I think, and get on the computer, because it's going to be easier on the computer, and go through and find all the, well, reply to everybody and everything else. Now, where's this bit? That's there. Yeah, I'll park in this one, it's not that far. So he's messing around trying to end the threads. Throw my threads all over the floor. Right, what's my next colour? Trying to find clothes that I've got a bit of colouring up. So a fair few stitches. We'll do this one. It's always the case when you get near the end, you just want to start. Well, I don't know if yours are the same, but when I get near the end, I always want to finish a colour off, because then I know that that colour is all finished within the chart. So I'll stick to doing. I'll do my kind of typewriter method all the way across until I get right near the bottom, and then it's right. Extreme cross country. Let's just do it. Get this page finished. I can't throw my needle. Oops. There we go. Right. was this bit? There's two. There. That's there. There. Thing is when you can't work out where you are. Tell you what, I'll start this and then I'll work it out. So anything when you've got the light colours, trying to work out where you've been and where you haven't been. Especially when one of your stitches is on like the grey line for the grid. And you're like, now is that a stitch? Or is that not a stitch? I'm getting to where I needed to be, slowly. That's them. And then... there, I found it. That's where I wanted to be originally. I couldn't figure out what I needed to be. Seems when you've got a mark to find, or when you can, stitches that you can work off and you can see the clear part that you need to be on. It's when you've got just your onesies around and you're like, which one is it? I was going to mention something before, I can't remember what I was going to say. Must have been a lie, as my mother says. Also, thank you for everyone as well for letting me know that the volume seemed to be okay on my videos. I haven't read all the comments, I just saw them pop up, so... I know people have mentioned it, so it seems to be okay. As I say, I check it before I release it anyway, so if I don't think it's loud enough, I generally do turn it up, but obviously my hearing and everybody else's hearing is completely different, so some may be able to hear it okay, some may not be. So I think I mentioned I put this in that app Stitch Pal, I think it is, which gives you a rough idea of when you're going to complete the project. But I think I put it in wrong to start with, because it reckons I'll get this finished by next year. But there's two ways of doing it, one for the amount of entries that you've done and one for the amount of stitches that are in there. So when I first set it up, I'd just put in that I'd done so many stitches instead of putting on how many had already been completed when you first load it up, so it doesn't include those in. So this one, it's got me down for finishing in 2027 at the rate I'm doing, but every time I add more stitches in, obviously it reduces the amount for the average, so it keeps extending it, so who knows. But yes, at 2027 I think it says I should have this one finished. Now obviously this is going to be one of my main focus pieces again next year, so hopefully I should bring it down a fair bit, assuming I get as much stitched on it as I want it to next year. Oh, we have a text message. We may have a picture. Give me a second, let's check. Oh, we do. I don't know if you can see this, but oh, that's bigger than I thought. That's what he's had done. So it's the Autobot symbol, head symbol, with a rose through it. So that's what he chose. I don't know why he chose that one, but that's what he chose. So he's had it finished. So there you go. You've all seen what Shane's now had tattooed on his arm. I'm still toying with the idea of getting one of my tattoos covered over, but as I say, it's not cheap over here. I'm assuming the prices have gone up everywhere. But I want a realism tattoo. But where Shane's been, I don't think he does the realism. So I'm gonna have to go to a decent studio to get it done. Now there's a studio over here called Celebrity Ink. And from looking at some of their pictures, they don't look too bad, but I don't think they're cheap. I'm not 100% sure. But I won't know until I get a chance to go in and see them to get a quote on how much it's going to take and how many sittings I'm going to have to do. But unlike Shane, I won't be using numbing cream. I've never used numbing cream to have a tattoo done. Birds are joining in on the video again. Surprised the cats haven't come flying to the window yet, because the window's open. Normally they hear the birds, they're straight there. Even though they know I can't get them, but they're going to try anyway. And try their hardest to get through the screen to get to them. Come on, needle, thread. Missed it. I thought I had it then. Don't you hate it when you think you've got it in the eye and then you start pulling in, it just all starts curling up and it frays your thread. I hate it when that happens. Gotcha. And the question is, can I get one more stitch out of this? I'm gonna try. There. I should be able to have plenty of thread on that, he says. Oh no, I need to go one more stitch because I'm not ending this just to start a full strand for one stitch. So see if we can get it here. It's gonna be thread chicken time. Come on, come on. Yes. All I need to do is end that thread. Did that go through? It started going through. I don't know where it went. There, got it. Boom. Ah, for a piece. Where is it? Nice little piece there. Didn't do too bad. Think I'm in the right spot still? No? Yes? There we go. I'm getting close to a colour finish as well. I've only got 265 more stitches of this colour. Where those 265 stitches are is another question. Next one. Get out of the way. Let's do this. Nice bright purple. Makes me laugh some of the colours that you have to put in these. You're like, that surely doesn't belong there. I mean, this one I'm doing. What's that? Nice bright purple. 915. You think, why would you have purple in a tiger? Well, obviously it works. And we're starting here. I'm sure I'll put my needle in the right spot to start with. I'm assuming the colours around this are going to be black or dark brown. As you can see, this colour actually runs through here. Don't know if you can see it. So it obviously blends in well once you've done it. It just looks strange when you start pouring it in. I think it's 8 weeks now until I go to the UK. I'm pretty sure it's 8 weeks. So looking forward to that. Not the first leg of the flight, that's like 14.5 hours or something like that for the first leg. Hopefully we don't have any really bad weather up until me leaving. So that's going to be fun trying to get to the airport. And luckily I'm not with Qantas, flying with Qantas. I've announced that the staff are going on strike over Christmas, or possible strike over Christmas, because they want better pay. So I'm glad I'm not with Qantas. I'm flying with British Airways. So yeah, it's the Qantas cabin crew I think this time. They were moaning, they want more money, because they have to work long hours, which could be between 10 and 12 hour shifts. It's like, oh, you poor people. I've done that for years. And say one of the jobs I worked at in the call centre, I worked 12 hours a day for 4 days a week. I think I survived. I did it for, well, it was at that company for 8 years, I think. So I survived. I'm sure they can survive doing a 12-hour flight. Especially if it's night time, because half of the passengers will be asleep anyway. I was seeing on the news this week about 2 blokes or something having a punch up on the plane while they were not far into takeoff. About half an hour into the flight or something like that, and they were having a punch up in the plane. So they all had to get separated by the staff and other people. So then the pilot had to turn around and land back at the airport and get them kicked off the flights and arrested. I was like, why would you start a punch up on the flight? There's just no need. Obviously someone didn't agree with what the other one said. Probably about a kid screaming or something. I didn't actually hear the story, so I don't know what's gone off, why they started having a punch up in the flight. Yeah, of all the places to have a fight, on an aeroplane, in midair. That would have been costly for them, because I'm assuming they'd have been fined. And it won't have been a cheap fine either. bit all over the place, this colour. It's not, it's all in one area, but stitches are few and far between. So next year, this one's hopefully gonna get a lot of work done on it next year. I'm hoping. I'm aiming next year to get at least 12 pages done. Whether that comes off or not is something completely different, but I'm aiming for 12 pages next year on this, or more. So that would get me, if I get 12 pages done next year, that should get me to maybe about 40%. What am I on? No, it won't. It'll be another 12. So maybe 35% complete on this one with 12 pages. That's shocking. Apologies. Power company telling me that I need to read the meter. Because we're rural where we are. I don't know if it's the same for everyone. But I have to read the meter instead of the meter reading off. We haven't got one of the smarter meters. I think that's what they call it, a smart meter, where they can just drive by and scan it and it reads it. So I have to actually read it myself and let them know the reading. Yeah, we're on an old meter. It's quite funny because every time I go and read the meter, I always set the dog off next door. Because the dog's always in the garden. So it sees me walking towards the meter and starts barking its head off. Every time. Always set it off. Then he gets told off for barking. I don't know if any of you have watched that Netflix show, Dahmer, which is based on the true story of Jeffrey Dahmer, the guy who used to kill and eat people. From over in the US somewhere. I can't remember where it was, Milwaukee or something. But everyone kept raving about it, so I thought, oh, I'll watch it, see what it's like. Man, it was boring. I watched the whole series, but it was boring. So yeah, if you're gonna watch it, be prepared. It's not gruesome or anything like that, but it took ages to get going. I watched the first episode and I was like, why is everyone raving about this? It's so boring. Where am I going? But yeah, I want to say it was very slow going. I think it took like 4 episodes before it even started getting remotely interesting. But I'm one of these people, when you start watching something, I've got to finish watching it. Even if it's really, really bad. But saying that, the only thing I haven't finished ever watching was Twilight. I started watching that, I got halfway through the first film and turned it off because I was so bored. But yeah, but this one I thought, oh, I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. Everyone at work was raving about it, and I've seen a couple of people on Facebook raving about it. I thought, well, I'll watch it and see what it's like. But I know the story of him. But I thought, well, I'll see how they do it. But yeah, I didn't reckon a whole lot to it at all. It doesn't... All it was mainly about was a woman moaning and complaining about him. So yeah, definitely wouldn't watch it. I wouldn't recommend it for people to watch anyway. It was, yes, definitely one I would have missed. We're an hour already. It's going quick. Obviously, I've not been talking as much. I've been too busy teaching. I'm trying to thread a needle. Right, where are we going with this one? Missed a stitch. I won't jump around. Right there. So you now need to place your bets. Will this page be finished by the next floss tube update? Or will my day get interrupted by people overstaying their welcome? And then me moaning because I couldn't get any stitching done afterwards. So there's not an awful lot left to do on this page. Probably looks more than there is. But we will see. I would say there's only a couple more 100 stitches left to do. But you know, I'm not very good at estimating how many stitches are left. Unless it's the very first page and I know how many stitches are on that page. Finishing this page still won't take me to 19%. I'll still be at 18. I'm at 18.5% at the moment. The next page I'm hoping will go pretty quickly because it's just the tiger. I'm pretty sure it's just mainly the tiger, so it'll just be the stripes and everything. So that one should go pretty quickly, I'm hoping. Well, that's going to be famous last words. I thought this page might have gone pretty quick as well, but obviously not. This page seems to have taken me forever to get through. So when I finish this page, I think I've only finished 3 pages so far this year on this one. Which I was aiming for a bit more, but never mind. There's a few people doing this chart now on the Facebook page. So it's good seeing where everyone's starting from. Somebody else has just started and they're starting right down at the bottom left-hand corner. Some starting from the top right, another one starting from the top left, another one starting in the middle. So yeah, there's who knows. Might be able to put all those pictures together soon and make a full project. So we can see how it all turns out. Surprised Shane hasn't phoned Timon how much his tattoo hurt. No doubt I'll cop that most of the night. He likes to whinge sometimes, Shane. Especially when something's hurting on him, like if he's hurt his back or something like that. He has to make sure that you are aware that his back hurts. And he will tell you like every 5 minutes that his back hurts. You're like, well, I'm not a doctor, so I will go to the doctors or take some tablets. They'll just say now I've already booked him in for the opticians next week as well. Got a letter through to say that my checkup is due. I didn't realise it'd been 2 years already. It's gone pretty fast, that. So I know Shane went not long after me. So I phoned up this morning and booked my appointment and booked him in. Get my teeth in. Booked him in as well. Okay. Get his eyes checked next Friday. Now Shane's meant to wear his glasses all the time and he never does. But I bet you any money when we go to the opticians he walks in with his glasses on. I bet you any money. My glasses I only need for reading and close-up work if I'm struggling to see. So mine don't get used very often at all. Unless I'm working on Castle Wolves. For some reason I always have to wear my glasses for that one. And I put them on when I was doing the 40 count one, the start of Darth Vader. I put it on there just to be on the safe side so I could make sure I was getting things in the right space. Someone asked if I'd do a stitch with me on that one as well. So I can try and do a stitch with me on that one. That would be very interesting to see how that turns out. I'd be constantly looking through the camera and I'd be zoomed that far in that even I'd be able to see where I'm stitching. There and there. Okay. Now where have I put my other needle? I've lost it. There it is. Too many magnets on this project. I keep putting things in the wrong spot. This one I can pin down here. Well, the chat must be very quiet today because it's been over an hour, so it's definitely not on mute no more and no one's pinged. Got away with that one. So what we at? We're at an hour and 11 minutes. That's not too bad. So I think we'll end that one there, and I'm going to continue stitching on this. Let's see if we can get a page finished. So as I say, I'm going to go through all my previous videos tomorrow and pull out any questions. So next week we should have some questions to go through. So again, if you do have any questions or comments, then please feel free to drop those down below. You can always email me. Email address as usual is dizzystitcher@gmail.com, or I'm on Instagram @dizzystitcher. Just look at that cute face. So yeah, so there we go. So this is where we're looking at the moment. So it's coming along nicely. Still trying to figure out if that's the part of the big tiger that comes round, that is sat in between this paws, or if that's part of this one. We'll find out when I finish doing this bit. So again, guys, thank you very much for watching. It is much appreciated. Again, take care, stay safe, happy stitching, and until my next video, thank you for watching. Bye bye for now.